And here are the standings after the sixth round of the third annual Sinquefield Cup, the second leg of a three-leg series of tournaments called the Grand Chess Tour. This is a hell of a tournament. Some amazing games. You're going to see one here shortly. I think is Nakamura's most brilliant and beautiful game. But anyway, after 6 rounds, Magnus Carlsen and Levin Aronian tied with 4. Levin's come back. Magnus has come back. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave has come back, as well as Zakaro and Anish Giri, all with 3.5. It's tight. Veselin Topalov, Alexander Grishuk. Grishuk won this round. A beautiful game against Caruana. And Veselin Topalov started out really good. 2 wins, 2 draws. Now he's got 2 losses in a row. At 2 points is Fabiano Caruana and Vishy Anand. Those are 2 guys that I thought would do a little better. And poor Wesley, he's just running the buzzsaw after buzzsaw with 1.5 points. And that's the standings after 6 rounds in the great tournament, the third annual Sinquefield Cup. And here are the top players in the world on the live rating list, dated August 30th, 2015. After the game today, Hikaru Nakamura, my buddy from the U.S., number 2 in the world. Congratulations, Hikaru. I knew you could always do it. I think if the chips fall your way, you have a good chance of playing the World Championship this year. How that will go, we'll have to see, but just getting there is a huge accomplishment. So, congratulations and good luck to my buddy Hikaru Nakamura, number 2 in the world. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. I gotta tell you, honestly, this is one of the most beautiful games I have ever seen. The most beautiful game from Hikaru Nakamura, even though he's in his 20s in his long chess career. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get to it. This could be my favorite game of all time, even. Except for the old Masters years ago. But guys I currently follow now, I've never seen such a beautiful game. Short interview with Hikaru at the end. It's round 6 of the third annual Sinquefield Cup, the second leg in a 3-leg series of tournaments called the Grand Chess Tour. Wesley So is white, now playing for the United States, and my buddy Hikaru Nakamura, and I have never seen anything this great before. Let's get to it. It's going to be a King's Indian, of course. All the crazy games and all the beautiful games seem to be King's Indian. G6, let's go through the opening a little bit. Typical King's Indian stuff. Knight, pawn, here we go. Knight moves over because the black always wants to move the f-pawn. F3, F5, bishop E3. Small advantage for white, but this is one of those weird openings, and it gets positions from the King's Indian that look like an advantage for somebody, and an advantage isn't really there. F4, bishop goes back. G5, typical King's Indian stuff. According to the computer, this is the classical main line. Knight D3, wanting to push C5. Knight G6, here we go. Now you're going to see later, those 2 knights for black, for Nakamura, play a huge role. Really, you got to see it in order to believe it. So hang on and we're going to see it. C5, Knight F6, here come the knights. Rook C1. Now right now, believe it or not, and Hikaru mentions this in the short interview I had at the end here with him, right now my computer's showing an almost 2-point advantage for white. This is one of those positions and openings that the computer isn't really accurate. In fact, he even makes the point. It's about 1 point, maybe even 2-point advantage for white, and that's not really true. Rook to F7. King to H1. Now, according to the computer, that's the last book move. H5. Here we go. He wants to go G4. Just push those pawns. C takes. C takes. Knight B5. Looks like he's going to sneak in. If he can eventually when that rook moves. A6. Chase him off. He goes back. B5. Now take a look at that knight on A3. He doesn't play the rest of the game. When they say knights on the rim are grim, they're not kidding. But just look at this here. Look at the halfway Look at this half of the board. Almost all black pieces. Kind of looks like a Kasparov game. Rook c6. g4. Here we go. Queen to c2. Now that advantage the computer showed earlier is basically gone. It's a small advantage for white. Queen f8. Okay. Leave the tension. Look at the rook-queen battery. Rook to c1. Look at that triple threat on the back rank. Bishop d7. Can't do much. So he goes to rook c7. Bishop h6. Yeah, it looks pretty scary for white, but believe it or not, the computer has an almost half-point advantage for white. But I'll tell you, it's a hell of a lot more fun to play black here. Bishop e1, just maneuvering pieces until the position opens up. h4, here we go. Finally, the pawn is taken. What to do, what to do? Computer likes h3. Nakamura went f3. Give you an idea, if knight had taken, after bishop, knight checks, pawn takes, rook takes, knight c5, bishop takes, knight takes. That's the computer. After f3, here's where it starts getting very interesting. You're white. What's the natural move? G takes. Now it looks like white's protected himself. The pawns are all there. Nakamura sacrificed his pawns to open it up. Knight takes e4. Computer shows dead even, but I'll tell you, this is one of those positions where one miscue by white and it's over. And this is where Wesley takes a long time. A long time. The computer has him taking the knight. Knight to b4 is the second move. Well, knight to b4 now is the first move for the computer. Rook takes d7. And lastly is f takes c4. He decides to go rook to d1. All of a sudden, it's almost a point and a half advantage for black. Now here it comes. This is absolutely stunning. Rook takes f3. Wow. Wow and wow. And now the top three computer moves, none of them are taking the bishop. He's doomed, of course. You can see after queen takes, it's over a 3-point advantage right now. Rook takes. Carl doesn't care. Down a piece. Rook checks. If bishop takes, queen takes f1 mate. Can't take it. King has to move. Now it's an over. I don't think I've ever seen the computer this high before. 18-point advantage for black, and he's down a piece. What's the move here? Now the computer likes h3 check, and I kind of do too, but this is just as good. Bishop e3. Absolutely astounding. Bishop, pawn takes, rook takes. Now to go back here, there's a series of moves. The computer doesn't show it, but from this point, if you go to YouTube to the Chess Club and Scholastic Center of St. Louis and go to round 6 of this tournament, you'll see Maurice Ashley with a computer figures out a beautiful mating net. Beautiful mating net. I wish I had it here, but I don't. So after bishop e3, bishop g3, if rook to g1 check, that's mate, of course. Bishop g3, h takes, rook takes, Knight checks. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all those pieces swarming around black's king. 2 knights, a bishop, and a pawn. And a queen. What else can he do? If he goes to h1, the pawn mates. King to h1, pawn mates. And Jennifer Shahadi, she has this expression. The lower the piece, the more beautiful the mate. You can't get it much lower on the chessboard than a pawn. So it has to go king h3. Queen h6. Another beautiful move. It's pronounced mate in 16, but g5. If you're wondering, you just have to sacrifice the rook. You just have to sacrifice everything and it's over. That's the only way you can get out of the mate that's coming. Knight to g5 check. King comes up to g4. Now, check out this. Knight on h to f3. Bishop can't take because the queen mates. The bishop's guarding the escape square and the knight. How beautiful is that? Knight goes to f2. It's just, white's just doomed. Queen h4 check. King f5. Rook f8 check. King g6. Rook f6 check. Gives up the rook for free. Knight to e4 check. King g6. Look at where the white king is. He started down here. And Wesley let him mate him. Queen of g5 mate. Absolutely beautiful game. That's the most beautiful game I've ever seen a Carl play. Without question. Amazing stuff. Carl is now number 2 in the world. Right behind world champion, of course, Magnus Carlsen. So hats off to a Carl. I feel bad for Wesley. He was a good sport, by the way, letting a Carl mate him like that. So I have to say, this is probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever had on my YouTube channel. Amazing, Carl. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, folks, that's the beautiful game. The game of the tournament, easily. Maybe even the game of the last half decade. Maybe even longer. And as I always say, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Everybody has been showering gold coins on, metaphorically, on the internet. Yes. Hikaru Nakamura, brilliant game. Congratulations. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, a game for the ages. Hikaru Nakamura playing a fantastic attacking game. Hikaru, normally you come down and I say, you know, I've been playing good chess, or you played a good game, and you go, no, I think I played badly. I don't know. This one, you've got to admit, was a pretty decent game.
Yeah, I mean, okay, either I'm winning or I'm losing. That's the good news. So, you know, I think Wesley, frankly, just needs to learn how to prepare better, because there are many lines like this in the King's Indian where, you know, the computer's going to say something ridiculous. Like, I suspect that somewhere around move 20, it's probably like +2 maybe. It's at least +1, I'm sure. Maybe even +2. But you know, in such a position, it's so complicated that it's very easy to go wrong. And I think Wesley, he just really misevaluated the position. I think he thought that, you know, the computer says it's much better, and so therefore it's much better. But in fact, I think, I don't think it was much better for him. I think he was just, I mean, worse, frankly. After he went for this Queen C2 Rook FC1 idea, I didn't really see, I didn't see much play for him, and I found the right moves. I think Knight takes E4 I thought was very important, because otherwise he's completely fine.
Let's bring that up. This maneuver of yours, we bring it up on the board with the moment, this attack. You went to the confessional booth to say, if he doesn't play right, I'm going to mate him. Well,
basically, yeah. Basically what I was implying is that if he didn't move quickly, it meant he wasn't in preparation. If he wasn't in preparation, I thought I was going to just win the game, and it turns out that was accurate.
So you made this sacrifice on well, first you made a double pawn sacrifice with G4. You left that alone. You played F3 in the position, and then after pawn takes, you played knight takes, and this was just some beautiful variations. We started calculating here. What did you see any defense for him here that could have maybe held up a little bit?
I think rook takes d7 is the only try, but I think, okay, I mean, I did have a brief look at the computer after, so I'm not going to pretend I saw this, but rook takes f3 anyway, and bishop takes f3, queen g2, queen takes d3, rook d1, and apparently the computer says bishop d2 wins, but I actually thought about h3, and h3 probably is also good enough to win here, so I think rook takes d7 was the only try, but objectively I think white's just in a lot of trouble. The
attack looked absolutely huge. We were enjoying lots of variations. There were a number of winning lines. I would hesitate to say when he played rook to d1, were you just, after knight e4, were you in shock that that move landed on the board?
Yeah, I guess I was shocked that he played after thinking for so long. That's the only reason that I was surprised. But like I said, the position's so bad that I don't really think there's anything White can do. I think he just Wesley just missed this bishop e3 idea in all the lines basically. Because if you don't see bishop e3, you just think you're completely fine. I mean, there's no threat. Just king g2, and I mean h3 never works, so you're completely fine. But because of bishop e3, which I saw in all the lines, it's just really bad.
Well, actually, there is a crazy line that's totally non-human. It's absolutely silicon crazy. Is this line, and we'd have to show you, it is with h3. So if we may bring that one up on the board in this position after rook d1, rook takes on f3.
I thought it was knight e4.
This is the position. Knight takes e4, rook to d1, rook takes f3, and now in this position, what move did he play? The actual move played in the game, that's right, and now rook check, king up, and now you play bishop e3, but there's a line here, h3 check, king takes, and now the move rook f2. The point being to sacrifice the queen on f2.
No, I saw some funny ideas with, I can sack both.
Isn't that a beauty?
I saw some other lines where there was some rook f2, or not rook f2, but some queen f2 trick, but I couldn't make it work. Oh, that's kind of upsetting then.
Well, I didn't mean to upset you at all. You played a brilliant game. Your bishop e3 just crushes. There's nothing you could do about it. But I was just curious if you had thought of this. This looks just so inhuman.
No, I saw some lines with like I think later I saw some line where after like bishop g3 or maybe it goes like bishop d2 or something. I saw some h3, king h3, and like maybe it was rook d1 and queen f2, or I saw some kind of queen f2 ideas, but I couldn't make them work. But yeah, okay, but bishop e3 is good enough.
Bishop e3 is crushing. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah.
That one is made in 15. Bishop e3 is you're suffering.
Yeah.
And
well, bishop e3 I think also is just winning.
It's just it's not even close. It's completely crushing, and it's the most natural human move to make. But I'm just curious if you saw that line. A pretty line to be sure, and I know, I know. Well, let it go, dude. You're only half a point out of first now. You're right there in the thick of the action. So doing extremely well in the competition after a loss kind of put you back a little bit, but now it seems like all to play for everyone in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I don't think I'm playing my best chess, but I'm still only a half point out of first place, so certainly I have good chances if I can play well or play like I did today. But again, there are still 3 rounds to go, and just have to take it day by day.
Well, keep showing this amazing attacking chess that you do, your style. You have lots of fans, and we appreciate it, and best of luck creating more brilliancies in the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Maurice.
The champ, U.S. champ, Hikaru Nakamura, trying to become the Sinquefield Cup champ. Scintillating games that will, this one for sure, will be viewed and reviewed by millions of chess fans around the world.
Very nice. And we've been getting a very